live. Hi. I don't know if this is working. Hopefully it is. Let me know. Give me a 5-5 if you can see me, if you can hear me. I'm trying something new tonight. Some of you found out the hard way that Kate was testing a bunch of stuff today. I had like 19 notifications go out to you guys. I'm really sorry because I didn't know how to make these private to test stuff. So I am using my computer for the first time. Every single live I've ever done on YouTube, I've used my phone. And yay! It looks like it's working. Success. Okay, great. So I'm using my computer for the first time because I'm using Streamlabs so that I can attempt to show you guys my screen, which will be life-changing for all of us, I'm sure. It'll certainly be a lot easier. Sorry if it's still lagging. I will try not to move as much as possible. But y'all know Kate likes to play with her hair and stuff. A little delayed, but it seems better now. A little glitchy. You know, I'm still working on it. It was a lot worse before. It was a lot worse this afternoon, so we're getting there. Unfortunately, I can't mess with the settings or anything while I'm live. Little echo. Sorry, guys. Well, we'll get through this one. I will mess more with the settings this week, and hopefully next week will be better. I don't have, for this exact reason, I don't have a ton of stuff for you because I figured we would keep this light just in case it was driving you guys absolutely bonkers to watch me glitch out. Slow-mo Kate is weird. Oh, man. This just sucks. I'm really glad I can't say it. Claymation Kate. No! Level up Tuesday. Okay, well, you know what? Just ignore me as far as visually, and you guys can just listen hopefully to the sound, because as long as the sound is good, then we're good. Hopefully when I move to the screen, it's showing you my screen, it won't matter because my screen's not going to be moving much. So stop action Kate, man, I used to make stop action movies with my friends. Actually, there's a YouTube channel out there that I actually was showing somebody yesterday, and I realized it's been there for 13 years. My friends and I used to make these. What is that? Okay, there's a zombie on my screen. I don't know if that's on yours. That was weird. Okay, so yeah, I used to make stop motion videos with my friends in the early 2000s. Are you impressed? You should be. All right, so let's get into it. I know that QMAP is down, so I have recently I tweeted. I haven't tweeted a bunch today because I was busy, so it should be towards the top if you guys want to go to my Twitter at Kate_awakening, right? I don't know, I think. And somebody had tweeted all the different alternative aggregators, and so you can you know, if you were one of those people like me who .pub, you can find some of the other ones. So let's let the magic begin. Let's see if this works, you guys. Let me know. You're gonna actually see about 47 Kates here in a second. Woo, trippy. But let me know in the chat if you guys can see this website. I know there's a big lag, so I'll have to wait for a second. Anyway, qalerts.app is another one. I have a link for this one in the description for this. So, you can click on that, save it to your bookmarks or whatever, and you can. I'm not sure if this one actually alerts you. You would think because it's called Q Alerts, but I don't know. I still have the Q Drops app on my phone that has been there since 1982. It's been there since 2018, and somehow still works, thank goodness. But you can't. Awesome. Thank you guys. But you can't download it anymore, which is really unfortunate because that was a really great app. So we had a ton of drops this week. What I'm going to start with, actually, there were 4 drops in a row just with a single name. You can see this one right here, 4710, Seth Rich. Oh, I'm sorry. First, starting with Julian Assange, 4709, 4710, Seth Rich, and then 4712, Guccifer 2.0. So I saw a lot of, let's see, we're going to get rid of that for a second and go back to this so I can just talk to you guys. I saw a lot of confusion last night, especially surrounding Guccifer 2.0. So I wanted to kind of explain it. I have some links for you too that I'm going to get into. But this is one of those things that a long time ago I researched the heck out of, and then I was like trying to explain it to somebody today and realized like a lot of it left my mind. There are a few things like that. For example, Nexium. Like I went down this I researched Nexium because I was going to do a video on it. And I feel like I was an expert at one point on Nexium, and now I can't really, I'm sure if I started like researching it again, I knew how everything connected to it. It was crazy. So anyway, let's get into, sorry guys, this is going to be a little goofy while I get the hang of things. And sorry if you hear my computer whirring. It's more than a year old, so it obviously needs to be replaced. And it can't handle all this that I have going on. So essentially what Guccifer was, we all know the story of Seth Rich, or at least most of us do. This is something that Q has brought up a lot. And if you don't know the story of what or who Seth Rich was, he was the believed source of the WikiLeaks emails. And so this whole narrative that this was a hack by the Russians is just not true. And by the way, do you remember when they tried to say to us that, I'm going to move this over so I can see the chat. Do you remember when they tried to say to us that we weren't because it came from a hack, that it should be illegal to look at these emails? And so they were trying to still buffering and still shot. Sorry. Anyway, they were trying to tell us not to look at these emails because they were saying, oh, it's stolen or whatever. But who cares? It's still the content of the emails that you're looking at. So essentially, the timeline was something like, Julian Assange came out and said that he had he had intelligence, I think, linked to Hillary Clinton or something like that. And then a couple days later, this Guccifer entity, whatever, comes forward and says that they are the source of this hack. And essentially what happened was that, this first article that I have for you here from Sputnik News, all the evidence suggests Guccifer 2.0 is linked to the CIA, not Russia, USA whistleblower says. So this whistleblower, Bill Binney, came forward. He's a cryptographer and a former technical director at the U.S. National Security Agency, NSA. Essentially how he explains it is there is forensic proof that this could not have been a hack from Russia or really anywhere. And I'm going to give you kind of my understanding of it. Basically what they're saying is, in order to download that information, they know the size of the files, they know the size of the information, right? And it's got to get to Russia, Europe, whatever, wherever it was going. And it has to travel through the channels of the internet. Well, the internet is only so fast. So you could put that into a math equation and say, okay, X amount of information can travel X or Y fast, and, in order to get to this place. Almost thinking of it as if the information is water and the internet is a pipe. The pipe is only big enough to carry so much water. So you would need a certain amount of time in order for that water to travel through the pipe. And that basically what he's saying is it is impossible for them to have gotten that amount of information in that amount of time through the internet. And so they did a lot of analysis on this, and came up with that. Meanwhile, the alternative story, the Seth Rich story, is that he had access to these emails because he worked for the DNC, and he was actually a disgruntled employee of the DNC because he was a Bernie Sanders guy, and he saw just vile corruption from the Clinton Foundation. He saw how his boy Bernie was getting treated, and this is, I think, what prompted him to take these emails. And there's a difference in speed. Obviously, you guys know how much I know about computers. That when you're hard plugging something in, like hardwired to something, you can, you can upload it, download it. What would that be? At a faster rate. And that's what this was, that he actually like physically had copies of this information. And then Seth Rich was actually murdered in what they called a mugging. He was shot twice in the back by two men who took nothing off of him. He still had his watch, he still had his necklace, his wallet, his car keys, everything. They took nothing from him. So that is a very strange way to mug somebody. So this first article that I have from SputnikNews.com in my links below is, kind of talking about what I was saying with Bill Binney being the whistleblower on this, and talking about how it forensically just wouldn't even be possible for a Russian hacker to get to these files. But then there's also something that I am less understanding about, but it's something about the encryption, I think, of the information, and how the WikiLeaks emails were, had certain information behind it. When you look at files, there's certain information behind it. But that the CIA actually has a technology to embed things that actually can make it look like it came from somewhere else, such as like Russian characters or whatever. This article would be a good one to look into, because they can obviously explain it better than I can. So it wasn't just that they were saying that he was saying Guccifer 2.0 isn't possible. They were actually linking it to the CIA, as in the CIA. He knew the CIA had the kind of technology used to make it look like it was Guccifer 2.0 that was the hacker, when there wasn't a hack. It was a leak. Then there is this video. I'm not going to play it for you, but the Inevitable IET has it on his Twitter. And it's all linked up. It's like synced up to the part that you want to watch. Oops, yeah, like if you click on this link. Oh, by the way, you guys, this is something that I wanted to show you, because this is something I hear from people all the time. Hold on, first let me just pause this before it starts talking to us. You guys see how fast my computer is? Faster than a speeding bullet. Okay, pause. All right. One thing I wanted to show you guys on Twitter, when you guys go to click a video, I don't know why this is, but if you click the actual video, a lot of times it'll say like this video, and it's deleted already. I don't know why, but if you click the text underneath it, it tends to work. So, little trick that I've picked up. I have no idea how or why that works. So this is Ray McGovern talking. I thought it was linked up. It might be that this is right before.
So I'm turning it to you.
And hopefully you can hear it.
Yes. Okay.
He talks more about not only the connections of Guccifer to the CIA, but also to John Brennan, which Q linked or mentioned here. So it's almost like Julian Assange is to Seth Rich what John Brennan is to Guccifer 2.0. It's like, here are the real guys, and then here's the fake crap. Hi guys, I'm looking at the chat now. So again, I've got a link to this video below. It should play at the right spot. It's not that long. The whole video is 28 minutes, but really the crux of the information that you want to get into starts at about 6 minutes and 50 seconds, and then almost to the end. All right. So this was a good tweet that I wanted to put in here, and then it led to this Zero Hedge article. This is a tweet by Jimmy Falk 5. He puts out really good stuff. I've been noticing him a lot more lately, and I like that. I like to see these. I like to see channels or accounts that I haven't seen much, like putting out all this awesome information. So I like to give them a push because we want to bring everybody up. We want to get eyes on all this really great information and these people that are working really hard. So this explained chain of custody of emails. Conrad Seth Rich to Craig Murray, U.S. Ambassador to Uzbekistan, to Gavin McFadden, UK journalist, to Julian Assange. So it essentially changed hands those 4 times to get into Julian Assange's hands. And here's an article about that. Former UK ambassador says the source of Clinton emails was a disgusted Democratic whistleblower. So like I said, Seth Rich was working for the DNC and he was disgusted with what he saw, and this was his motivation to get these emails out there. Keep in mind, he wasn't just doing this because to help his boy Bernie out. It was there was a lot of disgusting stuff that was uncovered in those emails. You've got the Podesta emails. You've got obviously the stuff within the corruption within the Clinton Foundation. You had uncoverings of how the media and the CIA were working together. There was a lot of stuff in there that was showing the nastiness of what was happening behind the scenes. And so this was really important. Obviously, we know that this kind of changed everything when WikiLeaks came out. So anyway, this article is linked below where, he talks from the 4 hands that it exchanged. And then here I put in, this is an older article that, about a month old, but about Seth Rich case indicate a federal investigator claims he saw and read emails between Rich and WikiLeaks. So there was a connection there between Seth Rich and WikiLeaks. Now we've got proof of that. And this is Seth Rich right here. This is one of the, I've used this picture before in one of my videos, I know. Anyway, so you've got in this article down here, you can see these emails where it's talking about a federal investigator who reviewed an FBI forensic report generated within 96 hours after DNC staffer Seth Rich's murder and detailing the contents Rich's computer. He said he made contact with WikiLeaks through Gavin McFadden, a now deceased American investigative reporter, documentary filmmaker and director of WikiLeaks, who was living in London at the time. I have seen and read the emails between Seth Rich and WikiLeaks, the federal investigator told Fox News, confirming the McFadden connection. He said that the emails are in possession of the FBI, while the stalled case is in the hands of the Washington Police Department. And then down here, 2 assailants caught in a grainy videotape from a camera posted outside a grocery mart shot Rich twice in his back, but did not take his wallet, cell phone, keys, watch, or necklace worth about $2,000. Police should consider all angles, Wheeler said, especially in light of Assange's statements to a Dutch television reporter who asked about Rich. So they call this, of course, a conspiracy theory. Fox News actually at one point reported on this, and I believe they were sued by Seth Rich's parents. And they say, no, this is ridiculous. This is not what happened to our son. But there is a lot more evidence, a lot more testimony that says that this is exactly where the WikiLeaks came from. Leaks, it wasn't called Wiki Hacks. Come to think of it. This was a leak, not a hack, again. So anyway, I think I covered everything that I wanted to cover about that. Let me see if Q said anything else. This again. This drop 4713 is actually a tweet from the whistleblower Bill Binney. He says, regarding Mueller team deleting text messages, we're going to get into that in just a minute. This won't do. If government wants those messages, all they have to do is go to the NSA StellarWind database and pull them out, as all SMS going over the cell network are captured and stored forever. Nothing ever goes away. Everything, you can't ever really delete anything. Even when you take bleach bit to it and bash it with hammers, the information still exists somewhere. And Q has said over and over again, we have everything. So anyway, Q says, already done. That has already been done. They have that information. So we're going to get into the wiping of the phones here in just a second. I'm going to check in the chat just in case I have, there's something you guys need to tell me, some pressing emergency. Imagine if Trump actually went on the Rogan show. Oh my God, I would love that. I really want to see that debate happen on Joe Rogan's show. It would be incredible. Oh, bye, Rosie. All right, cool. Moving on. Thanks, Alara. I think you had more viewers for your test. Just kidding. I love the setup. I'm digging the stop animation feature. Tyler is correct. I was actually, while I was testing my stuff today, and my notifications worked for the first time, which, by the way, if your notifications for my channel had not been working but are now suddenly working, we can thank Patricia at the Keystone channel for that, because she sat on the phone with me for an hour the other day going through every bit of my videos, my settings, to just see if we could find where the problem was. And as far as I know, we really didn't change anything that fixed it, but it seems to be fixed. So hopefully you guys are getting the notifications for my channel. I know Woke Societies is live right now, so a lot of people might be over there, but whatever, guys, we just keep it trucking. I wouldn't have even known that if you hadn't said anything, Tyler. Thanks. All right, so federal judge, Pennsylvania's plans are unconstitutional. So Pittsburgh, Governor Tim Wolf's pandemic restrictions that required people to stay at home, placed size limits on gatherings, and ordered, quote, non-life-sustaining businesses to shut down are unconstitutional, a federal judge ruled Monday. Guys, this is why when people say, no, why can't we get any arrests? These first 4 years of Trump's 16 years of presidency have been very important, setting things up. So one of the important, if you think about it as a chess game and the pieces moving around, to go in to make that kill, one of the important pieces that has been moved into place are all of these judges. So when you have judges that are not corrupt, when you have judges that will uphold the Constitution, that back the Constitution, that back the people rather than the, aristocrats, then you have stuff like this. This judge says that it is unconstitutional to basically tell people they have to lock down their businesses. They can only gather in certain amounts of people. We're seeing this around the world in some places a lot. Australia is one of the worst right now. And, they're putting restrictions on how many people you can even have in your own house. I think Gavin Newsom was even threatening to shut off people's water and power in California if they were suspected of having a party. This is government overreach, and so it's good to have a judge that's on our side that understands this. We want to see more of this. We want this to be the first domino that falls where the rest of the... I agree, you can't do this in the institution. So anyway, this link is below. Governor's efforts to slow the spread of the coronavirus were undertaken with the good intention of addressing a public health emergency. But even in an emergency, the authority of the government is not unfettered, Stickman wrote. The Constitution cannot accept the concept of a new normal where the basic liberties of the people can be subordinated to the open-ended emergency mitigation measures. Guys, this is how they take your freedoms away. Historically, this is always how it happens. There's something that they bring in that makes you fearful, and people relinquish their rights and say, I'm so scared, please take my rights away and just protect me, So we give our rights away and say, like, okay, you can tell us that you can force us to shut down our business, our livelihood that feeds our family, force us to wear masks in public, force us to not even be able to go to our own loved ones' funerals, because I'm so scared that something's going to happen with this virus. You must know better than I do. And so we're going to give away our rights and our freedoms. Nope. Not going to happen. Here's a good one. Trump admin cracks down on goods produced by China's state-sponsored forced labor. This is why we love U.S. Customs and Border Protection issued 5 withhold release orders today on products from the People's Republic of China. The products subject to the WROs are produced with state-sponsored forced labor in the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region, where the Chinese government is engaged in systematic human rights abuses against the Uyghur people and other ethnic and religious minorities. This is something that I know a lot of people still have no idea is going on, that we have these incredible atrocities against human beings that are happening that you would think happened hundreds of years ago. You really wouldn't have any idea that these are happening in our world today. And not only are they happening in our world today, but we are supporting them on a regular basis by buying good products that are made by these people that are being forced in labor camps. By taking this action, DHS is combating illegal and inhumane forced labor, a type of modern slavery used to make goods that the Chinese government then tries to import to the United States. When China attempts to import these goods into our supply chains, it also disadvantages American workers and businesses. President Trump and his department have and always will put American workers and businesses first and protect American citizens from participating in these egregious human rights violations. On some level, we know about sweatshops, and we think, okay, these people just get paid very little to make, Nike was one that came out years ago. We've known about that for a long time. Meanwhile, you've got LeBron James pretending to be a human rights advocate while representing that brand. So in this article down below, there is a list of the companies and products that are being boycotted, basically. And I hope this list grows, and I hope that this keeps going. We just can't, we need, there's a reason. It's not just about pride in your country that you want to buy things that are made in America. It is also because you have no idea what went into making that, and whose blood, sweat, or tears went into making products that come from around the world, because some places are treating people terribly. Actually, when I was going in to do my test today, I happened to see that Edge of Wonder was interviewing Jennifer Zhang. I have followed her for a while, and so I caught just the tail end of that, but let me tell you guys, I was sobbing. Forced labor camps. And so I recommend going and watching that and just hearing firsthand what the conditions are like in this, to understand further the atrocities that are happening in China. I know I've talked about this a bunch of times before. We have all these different boogeymen that the deep state want us to focus on and think are the bad guys, like hence Russia. China is way worse. If people understood what was going on in China, they would be beside themselves. It is incredible. So go check that out too. What's this about? Oh, so this is the wiping of the phones. Members of Mueller's team wiped phones during Trump probe. More than 24 cell phones belonging to members of Special Counsel Robert Mueller's team are wiped clean of their data before the Justice Department Inspector General could check them, according to a report. Newly released DOJ records show the phones were wiped of the data because of forgotten passcodes, irreparable screen damage, loss of the device, and intentional deletion, among other reasons. 24 of these? They don't even care at this point that they just look guilty as sin. That was true of Hillary Clinton when she took bleach bit to her devices and an actual hammer. You don't do that unless you have something to hide. So this is incredible. But as we found out from that Q drop, it appears it doesn't matter, because everything that's on the internet is forever. Forever and ever and ever and ever. So we have everything. Let me check in again. Hi, guys. Hello, hello. I need to take a drink of water too. I'm real thirsty. It was an accident. Hi, guys. Lots of friends, lots of friends. Okay, so Jordan Sather did this thread on all of the fires that are happening in the Northwest, that they were saying climate change started them. So he put together this thread of, different arrests of arson. We've got, these are more arrests. There are videos of, this one is a video of, let's see if we can get the audio on this.
Zero, check on your status. David 60, check on your status. Accosting a suspicious vehicle, 213 northbound 205. It's a dark Subaru with Texas plates, throwing Molotov cocktails and a silver SUV and a Texas plates, cab 810.
Throwing Molotov cocktails out of their car. Anyway, I don't know how much he's updated this I saw this the other day. I don't know if he's been updating it because I've seen a ton of videos of people literally taking lighters and lighting bushes on fire. This guy's got video of, people lighting a fire behind his house. You can literally see people there lighting it. Lots of people giving their testimonies of seeing this stuff with their own eyes. They're seeing arrests with their own eyes. And the Portland FBI, I believe it was, came out and said the claims that these are these fires are being started by extremists are, false. This is a conspiracy theory. Yet you've got all this evidence. This is a rather long thread. It's in the links below. I suggest you go take a look at that. People getting busted for it. Actually, also, drop number, which is it? 11. I don't know if you guys can see that over here. These were all linked, more information about arsonists. And then Q also linked this video. We're not gonna watch this whole thing, but I want to show at least part of it. Hold on, let me just. Can you guys hear my audio when I play the videos? I'm assuming you can, because nobody said you can't hear it. Unless you thought I just meant to sit there in silence. Okay, well, we're just gonna keep going. So Q actually sent us this link, or dropped this link. This is the Board of County Commissioners for Clackamas County, where a lot of these fires were happening. So this was an emergency meeting they were happening. I want you to, so this guy is going to start off talking, but I want you to watch this dude and this woman, okay?
Yeah, so if I could hopefully elaborate and give you guys some information, so it helps in helping you make your decision on that. So yeah, the reason we're asking for a curfew, and we would probably liken that to the time of the noise ordinance to be implemented around 10 p.m. overnight. Lots of confirmed reports of looting, mostly in the outlying areas, Estacada, Colton, Moala, Sandy, mostly in the outlying areas. Lots of looting has been taking place, burglaries and whatnot. There's reports of, and this is not specific to an area, but all over the county, both outlying and even closer into town, of people of extremist groups staging gas cans for later destruction. And equally concerning is there are reports of people from other extremist groups. It's not confirmed Antifa, but suspected Antifa. This is more specific to the Estacada area. Reports and sightings of people armed with chainsaws. And the goal was to fall telephone poles in hopes of starting further fires. And that's all the information I have at this point.
Look at that dude. Smirking.
All right. So, anybody Sonia?
I'm not sure I understand when you say
gas cans, staging gas cans. Could you give a little more information about that?
Well, specifically staging full gas cans in sort of concealed type areas to later be used by themselves or other members of their groups to initiate, the starting of further fires.
Yeah, but this is some media thing. I mean, it hasn't been confirmed, so.
No. That part is not. But the Antifa part, there have been reliable sightings and reports, not confirmed. But it's pretty specific. Being armed with chainsaws, falling telephone poles in the hopes of starting further fires, and the looting, burglaries in the outlying areas all over Clackamas County is definitely confirmed.
Yeah. All right, so we've agreed. I mean, it's been moved to second and check the box. And
hey, Chair Bernard, can I ask another question? Sorry about that. So if this is happening, is there coordination with any other state or federal law enforcement in regards to these acts to increase resources? Or is that necessary?
I can't confirm any coordination with any federal law enforcement sources because I think most of them have been deployed downtown Portland. But I can tell you that here in our sheriff's EOC, we actually have a member of the state police here in our section with us.
Paul?
After hearing that from Captain Smith here, I'm inclined, Jim. We got to make an appeal to the governor to call in the National Guard. I think that's critical information. That is very unsettling. There's not enough law enforcement resources in the sheriff's department to handle all that. And I think that I'm fine with the curfew countywide now, more so than I was 15 minutes ago. But for crying out loud, we can't allow a deliberate attack on property and people's lives and just somehow leave the National Guard out there, sitting at home waiting for the call.
I'd be happy to call the governor.
Yeah, can I just ask a clarifying question? Because I want to make sure we aren't over-exaggerating the situation. I think law enforcement has the best handle on when we would need to call in reinforcements or call in for the National Guard. So could you...
can you imagine living or in that woman's area where she's responsible for you and she's like, I don't want to be... What did she say? I just want to make sure that we're... Whatever she said. She, thought he was being too... I completely lost every bit of what I was going to say. Never mind, guys. Returning to the video. Actually, I'm not going to show any more of this video. That's really all I wanted you to see. You've got a guy here telling them that basically sightings of people using these gas cans as accelerants and using the chainsaws. There were actually, I believe, Q posted photos, if I'm not mistaken, that showed some of these power lines being cut, and that's why they had chainsaws. There was also this photo, right? Sorry guys for scrolling so quickly. I'm just trying to get to it. So this photo right here, that shows, this chick has a gas can. I know a lot of people, and there's obviously a chainsaw right here. So a lot of people were like, well, the gas is for the chainsaw, duh. Well, yeah, duh, but these aren't firefighters, okay? Because what firefighters carry around an Antifa flag and have the time to just take a picture with it? These people would be fired. Even if the gas is just for the chainsaw, we know that the chainsaw was being used to down power lines, or that chainsaws were being used to down power lines. And we know that gas was being used to accelerate fires. So, yeah, when people come out and they say, "Oh no, it definitely," I don't know, we don't know what it is yet, but it definitely isn't that. That should always make you question why, how you haven't even done an investigation of this yet. How can you say with any certainty that that's not what happened? And like I said, we've got plenty of evidence that these fires are being started intentionally. And at some point, it becomes mathematically impossible that these are just all people taking a shot at opportunity. It seems more coordinated than that. And a lot of these people were from out of town. Okay, Chinese virologist claims she has proof COVID-19 was made in Wuhan lab. Actually, just before I went live, I saw that Twitter has now deleted her profile. So I've got a link below to the New York Post article on this, where she's talking about, actually, I've also got a video of her talking about it. This is where this came from. So I'm going to skip a little bit.
WHO. The fourth thing is the seafood market in Wuhan and all the intermediate.
I don't know if you can even hear that.
We've all been told, we've all heard about these wet markets and the seafood market, and there were claims certainly from the beginning that this is where it started. You genuinely, in your scientific beliefs, you don't believe that's where it came from at all?
No, I have my intelligence from the CDCs in China, from the local doctors, from doctors and other people around China. So also based on my evidence, I work on vaccine and also virology, immunology in the University of Hong Kong. All these things get together, clearly shown and now get verified. So these are the truths. All the other things are covered up.
Yeah, where does it come from then?
It comes from the lab. The lab in Wuhan, and the lab is...
So it comes from the lab. So, again, so when asked what the deadly virus 900,000 around the globe comes from, Yan, speaking via video chat, by the way, that show is called Loose Women, replied it comes from a lab. The lab is controlled by by China's government. She insisted that the widespread reports that the virus originated last year from a wet market in Wuhan are a, quote, smokescreen. The first thing is the meat market in Wuhan is a smokescreen, and this virus is not from nature. She explained that she got her intelligence from the CDC in China, from local doctors. The virologist has previously accused Beijing of lying about when it learned of the killer bug and engaging in extensive cover-up of her work. She actually had to flee Hong Kong to come to the United States so that she could talk about this. And like I said, she has now been deleted from Twitter. This last thing that I had that I wanted to show you guys. Okay, watch this. I was seeing pictures of this, but then here's a video. This is a thermal map in Mexico. Look at that thing. Does that look like it's from nature? Let me open it bigger so you can see it better. Oops, full screen mode. Hopefully I can get off of that. Yeah, watch this. So this is one of those thermal radar maps. And it caught that. So last year, it was either last year or it was 2 years ago. I will try not to move very much. I actually was looking at, I have an app on my phone called My Radar, and I'll use it. I think it was during a hurricane or something, or maybe we were having high winds where I live. I don't really remember. But I remember looking on the app myself, and I saw it didn't have the spokes in it like that does, but there was a perfect circle storm, like literally cookie cutter, not like, oh, that's, centrifugal force. It looks like, whatever. It looks like a good circle or a pretty good circle. It was an exact perfect circle with perfect edges, nothing straying outside of the edges. It was the weirdest thing. I have screenshots of it somewhere, but, it's on my phone. It would just take me forever because I don't know exactly when I took them. But anyway, I've seen something like that myself, and so that is, I don't have any explanation for it. Alara actually probably has, just a cloud, nothing to see here, right? She would probably have a better understanding of it. In fact, I think they actually covered that maybe on Space Force News. By the way, 1 Foot in 5D, who's in the chat right now, that is Alara. That is who I do Pink Patriot podcasts with on Wednesday nights, which is tomorrow night at 6 p.m. But she also has 2 other shows on her own channel. She has Space Force News on Sundays, and Conspiracy Couch on, what is it, Fridays or Thursdays after Journey to Truth. And those are awesome. They're I'm so excited about these shows. They're just going to get bigger and bigger. And it's such cool content, and it's so different from what I'm doing, but it's very much what I tend to be more interested in. She does it with loyal to the foil. I don't know. With our other friend whose screen name I can't think of right now. And she's brilliant, and they just do a really awesome job together. Keystone Channel also goes live on Monday, or does her thing on Monday nights. So we're getting to the point now where we've got something every single night, and typically multiple a night. And so it's really cool to see all of these content makers out there doing the damn thing. Alara says the link for Pink Patriot podcast will be up tonight. So yeah, she used to put them up a little bit earlier, but she's waiting just because to not confuse you guys with this live link going up also. Still lagging, might help if you stopped talking. Thanks, Tyler. Does notification work for some people here? It's not working for me. Yeah, for some reason, Keystone's notifications for my channel are not working, but it seems to be working for at least some people. Ooh. There will be, oops, Mark, I lost your comment. Can I scroll on this? It should be able to. There we go. Whoop. Whoa, this is a whole new. There will be more October and November surprises. The astrology aspects as well as prophecy support these, unfortunately. Well, that's not a surprise to me. I was expecting things to get crazier before they get better. I think up until the election, it's just going to be nutso butso, and we're just going to have to deal with it. Actually, you made me think of another thing too, because you brought up whatever you brought up. Nicole Frolic also has a channel. She does readings, and she did readings the other day for by sign. So like if you're an earth sign, she did a reading for you, etc. And I watched my reading because I'm an earth sign, and I was like flabbergasted. I was blown away by how accurate it was. It was incredible. So that was fun / terrible. She was even reading it. She's like, earth signs, what is happening with you? I was like, I know. I was like saying it to my phone. I was like, I know. I was driving to the grocery store and listening to her. I was like, I know, it sucks. So if you're an earth sign and like your life went belly up in these last couple months, I guess we're all in it together, because it's not just me. But it is, I don't know how I'm smiling, to be honest. Nice. Alara and Foil are amazing. Yes, they are. Did we already talk Siege the White House? I haven't talked about that tonight. I didn't see anything new about that. When was that supposed to be? Was that supposed to be on the 17th? I did see those knuckleheads posting that on Twitter. They're trying to get some campaign together to siege the White House, which is a terrible idea. It's a terrible idea to begin with. It makes it extra terrible when you decide to post it on social media. We just need a reality show now. At least, believe me. Actually, we've got something coming up in October that might be just that. Stay tuned. Not really, but close. Elise, you're an earth sign. Yes, go watch it. For sure. And then call me, because we have to talk. I think it will be crazy until after the election. They aren't going to concede quietly. You're right. You are right. It's going to be, it's not like the election is a hard cutoff date and then everything's going to be sunshine and roses. It probably is going to extend a little bit past there, but I have high hopes that it won't be long after the election that things start looking up. Patriots Kate is still learning OBS, so please be generous with the thumbs up. Oh, speaking of being generous, you might have noticed that I have added about 17 links in the description to ways that you can support my channel, support Pink Patriot podcast specifically. So there are separate links. One of them goes just to me. One of them goes to both me and Alara. So, or 3 of them go just to me, and one of them goes just to me and Alara. That's just set up that way because it makes it easier to share if she and I have one thing. But I was actually, it's a long story why I have 3. One was, okay, so PayPal, and then everyone's like, oh, you need to do Cash App. So I did a Cash App. Then part of the reason why I was trying to figure out Streamlabs was that some people were like, oh, you can actually kind of get around by being demonetized. Like, people can make donations to you straight from the chat with Streamlabs. And so I did like 5 hours of research one day, figuring out how to use this thing, downloaded it onto my computer, started messing with it. I got everything. And then I find out that actually you need to be monetized in order for that feature to work. So it doesn't even matter. It's so crazy to me that they say that you can't be monetized because your content is not doesn't align with the advertisers, right? But they don't allow you to even take donations. Like, nobody can even support your work. It's very clear that they don't want us doing what we're doing, and they're going to do everything they can to try to keep us down. Wait, Kate, are you a full-time YouTube now? There was a point where you weren't feeling it. I have decided to go all in. I don't know what that's going to mean exactly. But I'm like, it's time to figure this out. And so that's why I am trying to figure this out so that I can share my screen with you. I felt like that was one of the biggest things that needed to be addressed right away, because it is so much easier to share information when I can show you visually what I'm looking at, not just explain it to you. And yeah, so I don't know what this is going to look like. Am I going to be doing more shows per week? I don't know. I'm already now doing 2 because I have Pink Patriot podcast with Alara on Wednesday nights. So all I know is that until November 3rd, 4th, whatever, I am going balls to the wall. Whatever I can do, whatever I get asked to speak at, whatever anybody asks me to be invites me on their show. I don't care if they have 3 subscribers or a lot of subscribers. I'm saying yes to everything that I see, to everything that I possibly can. I just feel like, as tired as I am with everything that I'm dealing with in my personal life, this is what I'm here for, and it's just what I got to do. I also did want to talk to you, speaking of my personal life, because I told you guys last week about my son's school, so I wanted to give you guys an update on that. I know my video is choppy. I'm really sorry. That will be hopefully fixed next week. You need a P.O. box to send money. I actually do have a P.O. box. I can add that to the link to the description, later. And I'll try to see if I can add that just so that it adds every single time to have those links in the description. Yeah, what was I saying? My son, I wanted to talk about my son's school, but, well, whatever, we'll just go into that. So last week I was telling you guys I was having a really hard time with deciding whether or not I was going to send my son into school because it was starting in person and he had to wear a mask. And I was like, this goes against everything that I talk about. This goes against everything that I believe. I don't want to do this to my child. Like, I wouldn't even wear a mask myself. He has not been in a mask since this entire thing started. He hasn't even really seen people in masks because I'm not taking him out to places like that. And I don't want him to I didn't want him to have that association. So that was really hard. And you guys saw how hard it was I really think I maybe just need to change the title of this channel to Kate Cries because I always tend to end up crying at some point. Sorry. I won't cry tonight because everything's good. Basically, the update is I took him. I made it very clear to him that if he didn't want to do it, if it was getting to him, if he couldn't wear that mask, call mom. I'll come pick you up. We'll figure it out. We'll do homeschool. We'll do homeschool until, masks are gone. We will figure it out. You are not. I feel like so. Actually, I got a really nice message from somebody today saying this exact same thing, that it's when people have the choice, when they have the power to do it, it makes it such a different psychological thing. You know, for me, I would be like, yeah, sure, I'll wear a mask if it makes you feel more comfortable. I don't think it's doing anything. But if you believe it does, and if it makes you feel more comfortable, I'm more inclined to do that. But if somebody tells me, like, F you, wear a mask, you don't have a choice, it does something different psychologically to you. So I wanted to make sure my son knew that, number one, this was temporary. Number two, this was his choice. If he didn't like it, if he was uncomfortable, if it made him feel claustrophobic, if he felt hot, if he felt itchy, if he just didn't like it, that we would figure something out until this goes away. And every single day that I have picked him up from school, he is beaming and he's like, I love school. Mom, I love kindergarten so much. And there was a part of me that was torn because I was like, shit, now I have to keep him there. Like, of course I didn't want him to be upset, but part of me was just like waiting for him to just be like, Mom, I don't like it. And I would have been like, okay, we're out right now. But the major reason why I sent him in the first place, against every fiber of my being telling me that I didn't want to do that, was because he had his hopes up for it. He was excited to go to school. He had already met his schoolmates. He had already met his teacher. He was doing the Zoom meetings with them. He already knew how the day was going to go. The teacher had already shown them around the classroom to show them where all the toys were and everything. And it was super exciting to him. And I felt like I was robbing him of something by not sending him to school. So anyway, I left it up to him. It was totally his choice. He made the choice to wear the mask and go to school. And again, it's not like, oh, now you're in and now you're stuck there. It is his choice every single day. If someday he says to me, Mom, you know what? It's really kind of getting to me that I can't see people's faces, that I can't, whatever, I can't breathe, then I say, okay, we'll figure something else out until whatever. So part of me feels like a big hypocrite, but you know what? You do stuff for your kids that you wouldn't do for yourself. And this is just one of the things but he's so happy. That's everything to me. He's excited when I go and pick him up from school, and he's got so many stories about how much fun he's having, and he's excited to learn. He's excited to be around other kids. I mean, that was another element of it too. He hasn't been around a lot of people in way too long. That is a really important part of childhood, and getting to play with other kids and stuff. And yes, we've played with kids. We've got kids in the neighborhood that we played with. We've got cousins. Oh my God, there's that zombie. But whatever. He's happy. I sometimes leak holy water when your soul is too full. Kate, it's a good sign. I like that. No wonder it burns as it rolls down my cheeks. No, I'm just kidding. Same with my son. Showed up the classroom and my son was so excited to go. My 5-year-old has mask day on Thursday, Zoom meeting, to get them used to the mask. Oh man, I'm so sorry. See how it goes, I really, that was another reason why I was excited about seeing that judge talking about shutting everything down was unconstitutional. Like, it's only a matter of time, I hope, until they start talking about how forcing people to wear masks, forcing people to wear anything is not right. I just want you to know that I appreciate you, and I will respect any plan you choose for you and your son. I felt like I've got to know you. You're a very genuine and a kind woman. Thank you very much. Don't. Don't. Again, I'm fine until people are nice or sweet like that, and then I'm a moron. But thank you very much. That means a lot to me, and I feel like I'm getting to know you guys as well, and I am absolutely floored by the kindness and the beauty and the support from all of you guys, and other than the one guy today. There was one troll today. But you guys, that's incredible. One troll out of, we've got 200 and something viewers right now, and I hardly ever see troll comments or people saying mean things, which is really incredible for the internet in general. But this is what it's all about. We are all here for each other. We're all here going through these excruciating times together, and this is what I'm here for. And even though I'm embarrassed that I cry in front of you guys all the time, I also know that on some level, some of you are relating to me in that because you feel the same way. I know that I feel that way when I see other people break down. I'm like, I get that. So, Ducey got heckled yesterday at the Trump roundtable in Phoenix. Hi from Thailand. That's awesome. My daughter was happy to homeschool, but the only thing she misses is her friends. You know, there's always a give and a take. There's so many beautiful things about homeschool. It really is just a give and a take. There's a trade-off to everything, and really the only thing about regular school to me was being with all of the other kids. My son I'm not worried about him academically. He accelerates academically. The way that I look at it, like they were trying to put him in a gifted, to test him into gifted. And I didn't do that with him because I just want him to be normal. And I also, gifted education is almost a form of special, it is special education. And these gifted children, it's like wherever you see someone, especially children, excel in one area, there's going to be a lag somewhere else. So it's not like, oh, one kid has everything. It's like you'll see kids excel in the academic stuff, but not so much socially, or the other way around. So for my child, I'm not worried about the academics, but I was a little bit worried about him socially, just because he hasn't been around people in so long. He's a sensitive child, not excessively, but he's sensitive, and I'm just like, whatever, I want him to be around other kids. But anyway, that was the only thing to me. Literally, it's the only reason why he's going to regular school. Homeschooling to me is better in every other way. Literally. I really hope that we can start to mesh the two. And that's got to be something that's like, I'm just focusing on getting Trump elected. I'm focusing on waking people up and I don't know, whatever else that I do. But after the election, I feel like that's going to be my main focus. Like, that's what I feel the most passionate about. I'd like to get involved in education. Every single person, every single educator, and like, whoa, there's the zombie, is going to hate me. Like, I'm going to be that girl, I think, in my area. It's just destined to happen. Can't help it, guys. Gotta do what I gotta do. Replace normal with this, like everyone else. I like that. My son is in the autism spectrum. He is the funnest, biggest love child I've ever known, no bias. Exactly, like, all of these children, I feel like, are so incredibly... There's just something about all of these little young people. They're so different from when I was young. We were all just like, I don't know, there's just like this spark in them. It is very clear to me that these children are born in this time for a reason. And they all come with their own special, unique gifts and powers and all of that. It's really cool to see. A dance-off is not a bad idea. I keep saying one day when I grow up, I'll be able to... Wait, I can't read that. Ripe good? Let your faith vanquish your fears, for fear is only a state of the mind. Keep reaching for the best in all you do. I really like that. I wanted to read that. What was that? We gave our 12-year-old a choice. She said, I'll wear a mask. What's the big deal? My husband and I said simultaneously, tyranny. She rolled her eyes and walked out of the room. That's awesome. I really do think there's a difference when you give the child the choice, and that's everything. So good for you guys. I want to know why Trump donated $1.6 billion to Gavi. Gavi is Bill Gates' pet project. You can't ignore this. This is huge. Actually, it wasn't Trump. It was Congress. Trump being on Rogan's show will cause an awakening like no other. Yeah, man, I've got a lot of friends who watch Joe Rogan. He is, I don't know, he is one of those people, I think, that on people on either side trust him, listen to him. And I think it would be a very good move on Trump's part to, they would also be really likable together. I could see them playing off of each other's personalities and being fun to watch. And that would be good for him. Who knows what education at every level will look like in the near future, since almost everything they've taught us in school is fake. Exactly. There's really no way. They're going to have to just completely, we might have a couple years where we just don't have an education system like that. And I'm fine with that. I'm actually excited about that possibility, because they're going to have to revamp everything. There isn't going to be a smooth transition into, okay, this is the new way we do it, because they literally have to change everything. If Rogan moderates the debate, 2020 will take the cake. Exactly. As long as the space sandwich maker is here, I have no fear. The future will be okay. Oh, they're calling the Harris-Biden administration might be the horrible Harris debating him. Yeah, man, they really snuck her in. Like, the country really made it clear how they felt about her in the primaries. They did not want that. And now they're going to get that. Well, they're not going to get that, but that's what they're trying to do. Get rid of the Department of Education. Exactly, Rosie. Does anyone know if there were any major fires burning around Wuhan before the virus hit last year, like a month or two before? I don't know about before. I know there were explosions and fire within the last couple months, but I don't know if anybody knows that. Feel free to chime in. I don't trust Rogan, but yes, would be fun to watch him interact with Trump. I feel the same way, Lucy. I don't necessarily trust him either. There are just some things that I think he is, he seems kind of controlled opposition to me in a way. Like, sometimes he really seems to be getting things, and then he doesn't get things that make absolutely no sense. So I'm like, you're kind of suspect to me. Trump getting rid of critical theory in the Fed is a start. Next, schools. Exactly. A couple more minutes here. Yeah, actually, just a couple minutes here. If anybody has any other questions for me, I would be happy to take them before I scoot. New Earth classrooms will be in nature. I love that idea. Kids do need to spend more time out in nature and learning there first. I think I told you guys, I never remember. I repeat myself a million times because I'm an old lady and that's just what we do. I went to farm school for my preschool. It was literally on a farm. And I got bit by a bunch of different rabbits and I think a horse and a donkey. I got bit all the time. So I was sticking my finger in cages. But I learned, and here I am. I don't get bit by bunnies anymore. That's education. Rogan is slime in my book. Yeah, maybe, possibly. I don't know. But there is a case to be made for Trump going on there regardless of whether or not he's slime. Will there be an election day special? That's a good question. I would kind of like to do something. I definitely want to be around a lot of people that day. So whatever I do, I probably won't be sitting here. I will probably be with my phone somewhere, but I would really like to be able to connect with you guys on that election night because I want to be able to party with you guys. I want to be able to celebrate with all of you lovely people. So I'm going to figure something out. If you guys have any good ideas for what I should do about that, let me know. I'm always up for ideas. No questions except can you play that funky music, white girl? No, actually I was listening to Little Richard Marx today. You guys would hate my music. You guys would be real bummed if you ever had to ride in a car with me. Zombie. Oh, thank you. Whoa, okay. Tantric Plays donated $20. Thank you. I have no idea how that zombie knew that or where you donated, but that is really awesome, and thank you so much. That was really, really cool of you. Thank you. And now I don't hate that zombie so much anymore. Now that I know it actually does something. Can we have a Zoom party? Yeah, that would be pretty awesome. How many people can you get on Zoom? You can get like 100 people on Zoom, can't you? That would be cool too. Do you guys remember there used to be a platform called Stickam? It was awesome. And then they got completely run into the ground, as all awesome things do, and got taken over by YouTube. But you could, okay, so for example, I could be going live right now, just as I'm doing. But it was all within this platform, and it was super easy. And there would be my chat, and then there would be like 6 little squares. So you guys could pop in just, you know, in just like you just click on one of the squares and you could pop in to actually chat and people could see you, or you could be in the chat like we have here, just typing. And it was awesome. I used to play around with that, and I don't know what happened to that website and why nobody ever made anything like it again. It would certainly make life a lot easier if that existed today, because it just would. Richard Marx lives here in Nashi, I think. I had a friend who sang with him. I didn't know he was still alive. I'm just kidding. He's not that old. Oh, Chris, you donated too. Thank you so much. I'm sorry you didn't hear a noise or get a zombie. Can I change that? Why does it have to be a zombie? Can't it be like bunny? Or like that doesn't bite me? A sloth? Something cute? You did it just for the zombie. Thank you so much. I am totally 80s, Mark. All right, you guys. Yeah, dudes. All right, well, I gotta go, but tomorrow is Pink Patriot Podcast right back here. The link should be up probably tonight, if not tomorrow morning, so you can bookmark it. And tomorrow we have Red Pill Babe on. She is a big Instagrammer that's into Q. She's a big patriot. She is super cool. I met her in Florida, heard her story, fell in love with her, and I can't wait to talk to her tomorrow with Alara. So come back here tomorrow at 6 o'clock for that. And I will continue to try to work out these bugs so that I don't look like claymation to you guys. And any feedback, oh, Baby Fist, hello. If you need help with the slobs, I will help. Sorry, missed most of the stream. Had to make dinner. Thank you so much. I will reach